updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show. Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show.
Welcome to another edition of DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Razul McGee. It's Saturday. That's right, another lovely Saturday for you to hear the sports that you want to hear on your weekend. I'm your host, Razul McGee from Springfield. The top of the hour is 6:04, and you're not going to be disappointed because we got a long list of sports news that you wouldn't believe. Of course, another trait on the DMV Sports Show that you want to sit here and listen and relax on this rainy weekend. But don't worry, you're going to be entertained as well. So with that being said, let's get to the title at hand. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders, who they pick in the free agency, who they're going to pick in the draft, and what number it's going to be, and what the prospects out there is going to be. Also, we're going to talk about the Washington Wizards. They recently had a game against the SPURS. I'll tell you who they win. And they hold the last spot in the playoffs in that playoff bracket that was conducted by Adam Silver. It's going to be a whole plethora of news. Also, we're going to talk about the Washington Capitals. Washington Capitals are 34-31-8, and they're taking on none other than the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are potentially on their back right now. We're also going to talk about DC Defenders 5-0. Unbelievable. DC United is also coming up. We're also going to talk about Maryland Terrapins. Yes, the Maryland Terrapins did in fact beat West Virginia as the 9th seed, but then lost to the number 2 seed Alabama and lost. But 22-12 in the division of the Big Ten. It's not something bad. It's something great to build up on. We're going to go all through that. So sit back, relax, kick up your feet, because when I open up the phone lines is 512-543-4662. Call in. Give your thoughts on your sports team, and you'll be heard. So don't be shy. Call in. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go to the top of the hour. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders free agency acquisitions. Who are they? What have they been doing? Is this a good pick, bad pick? What do you think? So let's go through the list of names that the Washington Commanders have. Also, we're going to talk about who are in the front running of being the Commanders' new owner. We're going to talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and go to the top of the list here of the acquisition and free agency. So the Washington Commanders didn't waste no time. Immediately, they signed Tyler Lawson, the center. The Commanders have recently reported re-signed the backup center Tyler Lawson, who has been in the NFL since 2016, has been in Washington since 2021, with 18 games, 11 starts under his belt, and has been one of the Washington's most provial backups, has been in relief of veteran starter Chase Roulier on multiple occasions. How over the 2 seasons, Lawson has been claiming
force of the offensive line and had been struggling with injuries several spots. Larson said that at the end of the season we would like to return to Washington, and it appears that hope it became reality. The next one is Ife Obada. The Commanders have secured their depth of defensive end by reportedly re-signed Obada. Obada, who signed with the team last March, played 17 games with one start, 2022. He tied for the career high with 24 tackles, 14 solo, and 8 quarterback hits, 4 sacks, with Chase Young recovering from his knee injury. Obada helped stabilize the Commanders' defensive front and played at least 30% of defensive snaps, 16 games. They also brought back running back Jonathan Williams. Now, Jonathan Williams made a good impression in unlimited access to Commanders and has earned another opportunity with the Burgundy and Gold. Williams rejoined the Commanders in 2021 after spending time on the practice squad in 2020. He rushed for 152 yards on 37 carries in 2022, according to 48-yard showing against the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome. If you want to, you can stay, comment, give me your input. Thank you for the hearts. Also gift. Moving forward, Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves is the Commanders have extended qualifying offer to restrict the free agent Jeremy Reeves and released running back J.D. McKissick, who was actually a prominent factor in the Commanders' offense when Scott Turner was there. The move Reeves moved Commanders much more often extended to the Reeves by another team, but the move also gives Washington one more time to work towards a potential long-term deal. Jeremy Real is actually waiting for that right now. Jeremy Reeves' story is well known by now. He is proved to be himself as one of the league's best special teams player in this season, and after earning the spot the Commanders' 53-man roster for the first time in his career, he finished the season with a career high 33 tackles, 17 of which came from the special teams player. He finished the second in the lead in terms of special teams tackles behind San Francisco 49ers George Odom. And Reeves ended the season with a Pro Bowl selection, first team All-Pro honors, NFLPA first-time All-Pro honors. The Players Association also included him as the list top of 5 special team players in the NFL last season. They also acquired David Mayo. Now, David Mayo used to play for the Giants as well, but we snagged him. The Commanders began the efforts to retain their depth in linebacker, signing David Mayo, 1-year extension. Mayo, who also with the team in 2021, recorded 35 tackles to go with a sack and pass defend breakup, 13 games with 3 starts. Hey, how you doing, Marilyn? We have Marilyn on the call here. Marilyn's our reigning champion and also a coach, and she is 100% an actual lovable person with tremendous amount of football knowledge. And we welcome you to the Dmv Sports Show. Marilyn, what we're doing here, we're going over the acquisitions of free agents, and who else is on the call who just popped up? State your name for the record.
It's Lou from Jersey.
Lou from New Jersey, who is actually the host of the Enhancer Sports Show that is on Thursday from I believe it's 4 to 6. All right, I got that right. Well, welcome, Lou.
I'm writing for you.
I'm
on Saturday. I'm on for you.
That's right. Lou is a great host. You should catch him. It's 4 to 6 on Saturdays. Same number, 512-543-4662. You should catch him. Lou, all right, man, you do a great job. So what we're doing right now, we're going over the list of sports news. We're just going over the Commanders' free acquisition. And Star goes home of the Jersey Devils. But
Okay. Oh wow.
there's some Star. I get a little tension there, a little tension. Don't worry, it's good. But but we're gonna go ahead and you have a question or about your team or anything, don't hesitate to jump in. I'm willing to give you any type of answer regarding football and the teams that you have. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go to the acquisitions of the Commanders as we were going. So I just went over Tyler Lawson, Abada being signed along with David Mayo, and Jeremy Reeves were they reached out to him, and another team has reached out to him as well, but they're going to give him another offer to stay with the team. Also, the Commanders also reached out and re-signed Emilio Eifler. After a few days after resigning Mayo, the Commanders made a decision to retain Eifler, who was one of the darlings of the 2022 training camp and impressed the coaches. Eifler was signed with the Commanders in December of 2021. Earned a roster last August and became special team contributor. He appeared in 10 games and recorded 4 tackles, and one of the ones was for a Dallas Cowboy loss in Week 18. Moving down to the next one is none other than Ricard Wildgoose. Now, I'm critical of Wildgoose. I do not like Wildgoose because he had potentially messed up before. But the Commanders certainly need an address cornerback position, but they do like some of their own players, which keep them around. That started keeping Wildgoose, who joined the Commanders at the training camp after spending some time with the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets. He has appeared in 15 games, 3 starts, recorded 16 tackles, and go with 3 pass-up breakups. The next player is Khalid Hudson, linebacker. Khalid Hudson has had a interesting career with the Commanders since he's been drafted with the 5th round of 2020. He was cut after last season training camp, and then he ended up back on playing a 13 game and still ended up starting in the season finale against the Cowboy. Hudson, who was played in the University of Michigan, who was drafted by the Commanders in the 5th round 2020. He played 41 games, 4 starts, primarily a special teams player. Hudson is 34 tackles, 16 solo, 3 quarterback hits. And the next one is Nate Gary. Nate Gary is the Washington decided to bring back Gary 1-year deal, making him another linebacker that Commanders keep before he could test the market. Gary primarily a special teams player contributor and appeared in 4 games last season. All right, my favorite, and I believe it's the Commanders' favorite, fans' favorite. This guy is a true CB. He got Daniel Green's-like abilities. He's none other than CB Danny Johnson, a favorite of the Washington fans. Commanders have repeatedly reached out to retain one of the most viable depth pieces in the secondary. Johnson appeared in 11 games with 4 starts and coming off a career 29 tackles, 9 pass-up breakups, and an interception in Week 9 against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes,
so this is one of the bright spots here. There's a few more, and we'll go to questions. Players reportedly joining the Commanders. Trent Scott, the Washington Commanders continue to add their offensive line by signing former Pittsburgh Steelers tackle Trent Scott. Details on the deal were not closed, but Scott, the undrafted free agent out of Grambling State in 2018, has played 61 games, 20 starts over the course of his career. Scott has spent last year's with Los Angeles Chargers, Panthers, and Steelers, and has experience playing right guard, left tackle, and right tackle. So that's a good pickup right there. That's a great pickup. The next one is, let's see. The next one is Abdullah Anderson. Washington Commanders have added more depth to their defensive line, signing by Abdullah Anderson. Abdullah Anderson is an undrafted free agent out of Bucknell. Spent 2022 season with the,
Huh? Play back a little while.
Oh yeah, that's right. Atlanta Falcons had a career season with 40 tackles. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. I thought I heard somebody else. No, he said he'd be back in a little while. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to what we were talking about. This is a great thing because he was with the Falcons, and Anderson played with the Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, and Tennessee Titans and Pittsburgh Steelers. So he still got a little bit of disruptiveness in his arsenal. But Anderson was 4-year starter at Bucknell, 171 tackles, 33 and a half tackles for loss, 15 and a half sacks, and 14 pass breakups for the 4 block kicks. He's his accolades for Bison includes All-American honors from the Associated Press and being named at NCAA can't get the words out, FCS Colleague Player of the Year by Brooks and Ryan Memorial Football Club, which is a lot of words to mention. So we got a gem right there. And last but not least, the quarterback that was actually signed in free agency by us, the Commanders, reportedly have their backup quarterback per ESPN, Deanna Rossini, veteran Jacoby Brisket is expected to be signed by the Commanders, which is already done. And the contract, according to the following Jeremy Fowler, is reportedly 1-year deal. So,
Okay.
that is a mouthful.
They're gonna see how he does.
I know, and I've almost forgot. Deron Payne has been signed as well to that $90 million deal. As well, we lost Cam Sims, the wide receiver. He's now a Steeler, which is I'm mad about.
You know what? That's a big blow.
I know. I cannot believe we let this man go.
I'm like, what's wrong with him?
I don't understand. This guy has proven that he can move the chains. This guy has moved that he can catch the ball. The only time he didn't catch the ball is when he was overthrown. So he was a great addition. He would have been the 3rd and 5 guy, right? I just don't understand it. So Star says, sad part, we're both in New York. I had heard about that. Oh, brother, we need a championship. Yes, we do. I also looked at this is another great thing I was looking at. I looked at the championship list from each division, right? The Cowboys and 49ers both have 5. Steelers have 6. Green Bay has 4. Here's the great thing about this. Broncos, Raiders, and Kansas City Chiefs have 3 along with us. So if we win another one, we'll be tied with Green Bay. And then we'll be 1 away from the Cowboys. That's something. That's something telling. That's something great. So we're just Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But with Kit and with, let's see, what's his name, Amanda? No, Moore. Oh, man. With the both of them, I think they could do it. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
What I like to say is that the Maryland Terrapin women basketball is one of the most dominated force I ever seen in women basketball history. They are ranked number 2 in the nation, and I'm thinking, wow, what a great basketball team. And they're more dominant than the men's basketball team. And I'm like, we gotta get it together, because they're just, we can't be in the league with them. You know, they're 100% out of this league. But and not only that, the Hokies are women basketball team is phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah. I am too. I'm like, I was expecting, like, I didn't get to watch it last week. I was trying everything. Bubo, I was like, I told him, I said, listen, I'm going to cancel because it's about 2 or 3 minutes left of the game. And my brother texted me, oh, Hokies are, and gave me the score, and I said, hey, they're winning. Yeah!
Yeah, that is something
but
else.
Seeing the Vols, the Lady Vols, they're good.
Yeah, the Tennessee Lady Vols, yeah, they are.
They are good. I was like, oh man, they got to go all the way to Seattle. They're up there, man. It is getting ready to start. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
And I'm just upset with my carrier and Fubo because, I said, well, hey, I wanted to watch the game and I never did get it. Yeah, next morning I wake up and it was on. I'm not talking about the game, but Fubo was on. So I was like, calling them up. Doing everything.
Yeah, it's.
You gotta watch these people.
Yeah. Well, let's. I got maybe a few more to go through, and then we'll do questions, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Because it's a lot to take in because there's a lot of sports that's happening right now and so let me just go ahead and move forward because I just gotta get to y'all to answer this. All right, so we got Cody Barton. Well, the Commanders have reportedly added their linebacker position by bringing up Barton for a 1-year deal. Barton is coming off a standing out season that saw some finish the second in Seattle's defense, 136 tackles, 15 among all defensive players. Prior to 2022, his career high was 37 in 2021. Part of that was because Barton was more action on the field, 11 starts. He grabbed 2 interceptions against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Las Vegas Raiders, and he paired with the 6 pass breakups. He's also increased his presence in the pass rushing with 2 sacks and 2 quarterback hits. So he could be a potential replacement for Cole Holcomb. We're
going to need a big replacement for him.
Yeah, I think he could be that.
Some of these players, I just can't believe that they let them go.
I can't believe they let Cam Sims go. And what?
That right there. Boom.
Yeah, and not only that, Taylor Heineke. I mean, this man has proven that he gave his whole entire body and his soul to this organization, and they tossed him out on the road and took everything of his energy. And this man had a 5-game winning streak in 2 seasons. 2 seasons. And you let him go?
He come back out, and he got this suspended going.
Yeah.
They were doing teamwork.
Yeah.
They were connecting, and I'm like, you don't let a guy go like that.
Yeah, and not only that, he was wowing the fans. He was wowing me, you at home, saying, I want to be a Commander forever. And everybody's like, yeah, you're Commanders forever. And then they let you go at the end of the year.
And you know, what he wanted was money, and I didn't blame him because he said he had been sleeping on his sister's sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want money. You've gotten out there. You've got the fans in.
Right.
Back on money. Give him some money.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I was saying give him the money because he deserved the money. He proved it to you. Okay. That was strange. That was strange.
Yeah, I got hung up. It was going boop, boop, boop.
That was weird. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man. What in the world?
I don't know. This is weird. That's the first time that ever happened to me. But yeah.
So, y'all say a prayer. My son-in-law's mom has been in the hospital.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't know if this part is true, but from what and she was in hospice for a long time. And she's had, you know, health problems for a long time. Where they couldn't operate in her to put a tube in her stomach so she could be fed. And from what I understand, they took her off the machine. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really racked my nerves this last week. So I'm sorry I interrupted, but if y'all could just keep her in your prayers, please. I appreciate it.
Most definitely. I absolutely will, Marilyn. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. She's had a lot of, I've known her for years, serious. I know my daughter, I'm not going to say this. My daughter.
No worries.
It's driving my son-in-law crazy because he's already lost his dad and now his mama. And, I don't want that. I know how that feels. And
yeah.
I'm like, yeah. And he's been like a son to me. And I said, Chas, don't. I said, Larry hit his head and knocked him out, and he broke some fingers and stuff off of a ladder. And I'm like, I said, keep an eye on him about 3 to 6 months afterwards. And I was right. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, don't worry.
Anyway, y'all keep the prayers, please. I appreciate it.
Most definitely,
Marilyn.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. You know me.
I do.
No worries. She's going to be in my prayers, all right?
Yeah. I'm just...
Let's try not to think about it too much.
We've had our ups and downs, but, she's still family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No worries.
Still family.
Let's just try not to think about it too much, okay?
I'm trying not to.
Okay.
Trying not to.
Well, let's do this. Let's try to talk about a little bit of sports to keep your mind off of it, and then engage in the conversation. All right?
Thanks.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. So
Sounds good.
let's go ahead and go through the few players that's on this list, and then we'll go to the next topic with the Wizards. All right, the Washington Commanders signed tackle Drew Himmelman, adding Deb. Himmelman. Yeah, something like that.
People gonna have a
He's got a hard time getting his last name if he does something great. They're going to yell Melly Man or something. But anyway, adding depth to his offensive line, Himmelman played at college at Illinois State University and has 2 years started left in his tackle. He was a FES. So I'm starting to see exactly what they're going to do. When you start bringing it up these massive men in the front line, that means a running game is going to be 100%, the presence. So what they're going to do is they're going to probably put their ideal runner in the B gap or C gap type of plays, and they're going to be a little pull. I think I'm seeing a little pull, not a counter trade, but a little pull by one of the tight tackles over to the left side. So this is good. Illinois State 2020 season was disrupted by COVID, but he earned first All-Team American honors. Associated Press during the 2021 spring season, he was also one of the 12 finalists for the 2020 Campbell Trophy, which is all known for the academic Heisman. Himmelman signed with the Broncos, undrafted free agent in May of 2021 offseason. He signed with the future contract with the teams in 2022. Himmelman also signed with the Commanders in May last offseason before being released that last week. And last and not finally, wide receiver Marcus Kemp. Washington Commanders signed former Kansas City Chief wide receiver Marcus Kemp. Kemp was undrafted free agent in Hawaii and spent most of his NFL career with the Chiefs and appeared in one game of Miami Dolphins in 2020. Kemp mostly been the special team player for his career, 4 receptions of 42 yards. Kemp was 4-year contributor at Hawaii and corralled 2,570 yards, 13 touchdowns for the Rainbow Warriors on 176 receptions. As a senior, he played 14 games, caught a career-high 73 passes for 1,100 yards and 8 scores. This guy needs to be on the field. He needs to be on the field.
I heard he was good.
Yeah, you got to be. Yeah. This guy got to be on the field.
I knew that name. I was like, oh.
I think if we're going to, I think I see what Eric Bieniemy is doing. What he's doing is he's bringing people who can gather yards, right? He wants to see who can actually get open and get these yards down the yard. Okay, so let's go ahead to the Maryland Terrapins. The Maryland Terrapins men's basketball lost to Alabama but beat West Virginia. And it looks forward to this next season because this team is dominating. They punch back.
That's all right.
I love this team's grit. I think if they get another player who can actually score 20 a game, this team will be in the top 10 AP polls for the rest of the years. I guarantee you this. You haven't heard the last the Maryland Terrapins. Let's go ahead and go to I know. My favorite is the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles are looking like a playoff team. They are now going against Pittsburgh Pirates, but their opening game opponent is not other than their rival, Boston Red Sox. So who's going to start is Gibson and versus Kubler. Now, Kubler's good, but Gibson, the rookie, has really shown that he doesn't care. I love this bullpen. I love this bullpen. It makes me want to go play too. I want to go on a bullpen and pitch real bad. But but Wells is stronger. This rotation, and then you have John Means, who is a really good potential for a Cy Young Award. This guy, I think the rotation of these players, it's going to be tough to get it down to a reasonable roster move. I don't know what to say about this. This organization has really put together a flawless pitching rotation. I'm looking forward to opening day. I might want to go to Baltimore and just sit right in the dugout and see who they're going to pick up next. It's oh my God.
You're gonna have fun.
Oh, you know it, Maryland. I just want to go right up there and go, okay, coach, who are you going to put in first? Who's going to be on rotation? I might just offer myself. I might just go, let me pitch for you two. I'll pitch for. Yeah, I'll only pitch for one day.
Hey, you're not trying to have fun.
I know.
Yeah. Wow.
I think
That would be cool.
that would be so awesome, pitching one pitch. And if they hit it, I'll be like, well, I wasn't supposed to be up here anyway.
Now you got to get out of the head.
Right.
Heck out of the way.
Right. What if they turn a 4-2-3 double play? I would be so happy. That's how happy I'm
That
about.
would be awesome.
It would. It would be so great. You know why? Because I know right then and there that after looking at the hitters, I'm like, they're not going to hit my pitch because I don't even know what I'm doing. It is so amazing. Let's go ahead and go to the Wizards. The Wizards are 33-41, and luckily, by some luck, they hold the last spot for the playoffs at 12. And what's funny is that the team below them beat them last night. Was it last night? No, a week ago. And that team is the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic is 31-43, and we are 33-41. So it's a complete reversal of where we are in record wise. But last night, the Washington Wizards took on none other than the San Antonio Spurs at home with a 19-55 record. The Wizards came out victorious, 136-124, a 9-point win, and no Bradley Beal, no Kuzma. This team has really tried to find a way to have a nucleus of winning versus just having the stars winning. But we need more because if you look at, I'm going to give you the playoff picture here. The playoff picture as it reads is number 1 is Bucks, 2 Celtics, 3 76ers, 4 Cavaliers, 5 the Knicks, 6 is the Heat, 7 is the Nets, 8 is the Hawks, 9 is the Raptors, 10 is Chicago, 11 is the Pacers, and finally, the Washington Wizards are held at 12 with a 33-41 record. Now,
There you go.
I don't know. We need to win at least 2 more to be in a move up to be 12.
To move up,
10. Excuse me. Because I think being 10, we don't have to take on the Bucks. If we take on the Bucks, we're surely going to lose in the first round. So I'm just hoping we move up soon because our next opponent is not other than the Raptors. And the Raptors are a little bit tough. All right, so
Yeah. I heard about that.
yeah, I know. Like I said before, let's move let's move on to the Washington Capitals. The Washington Capitals take on the Pittsburgh Penguins, tonight. The Capitals are 34-31. Hopefully, they can be 35-31 by beating the Penguins. Now, here we go. The moment that you've been waiting for. Who are the front runners to own the Commanders? So, from what my research has seen, there's only 2 finalists reported by the Washington Post, the ESPN, and their names are Jeff Bezos and Josh Harris. Josh Harris is also teaming up with Magic Johnson to purchase the team as well. So the guy who was purchasing, so the guy who's actually who was owning the what is his name? The Devils. He's no longer in the running. He didn't come up with enough money. RG3 didn't come up with enough money, so that minority.
I knew he wasn't going to.
Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't.
He had a baby on the way.
You're right, and plus he was like in the millions. He's not in the billions. So now it's probably Jeff Bezos, because Jeff Bezos is the front runner and he gets a lot of money. So I think that right there says a lot, because if he becomes the owner, just imagine how many players are going to want to play for this team and bring home either. Yes.
My younger brother is a lot. Bezos was 9. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
David, and even my older brother calls my younger brother Mr. GP. And it's because that's how he holds on to his money. Don't be surprised. Right.
Well, let's look at this. Look at it this way. Okay? Look at it this way. If you look at it as in the opposite way of looking at how much a person has money, but look how much of a star frenzies that we're going to get, and bringing in stars here to help us win championships, because they're looking for a payday that can benefit them in the long run. You might not get an Albert Hainsworth. We won't get an Albert Hainsworth. We'll get somebody who knows what to do.
That's why I wondered why they couldn't pay Taylor Heineke.
Yes. So that.
And I'm like, I wasn't just because I liked his personality. It was because he could lead. He could lead.
Yes.
Get their spirit going. He could do, all the things that a quarterback does.
So my thing is, okay. So what this is what my research have, came up with. Ron Rivera has said that he reached out to Heineke, what they offered, but by the time that offer was given, Atlanta Falcons have already reached out him with the money that he desired, and he said that he had to take the money because they didn't come back with the offer. My thing is, I don't think that's true, because you have enough time to get that money offer up. So what he did was he took care of Deron Payne. He took the offensive line. That was a priority. You still had enough time to structure a deal, talk with the agent constantly back to back. If you didn't reach out to him, you didn't think he was that important, because of like a Deron Payne, like a Jonathan Allen, like a Chase Young, and Montez Sweat.
Exactly.
So if this is how I figure out that he wasn't a priority in the beginning, because he doesn't. So this is Ron Rivera's thought. Ron Rivera saw that his arm wasn't good enough.
I heard that it was $200 million. Now, I think Ron Rivera could have beat that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Easy.
It was easy. It was easy decision.
Really want somebody. I think the fans don't just like him because
Right.
of the spirit.
Right.
I think they love him because of the leader.
Just like
You gotta love a leader.
that's true. Welcome back, Lou. But if you look at this, if you look at it like this, all right. If you saw potential in this quarterback who took you to the playoff one year, missed it another year, came back and almost made it this year, that means a lot. That means that you are in the running of building a great team. Now,
Exactly.
what you do to the player that you said that you want him back, you give him the stiff arm. It's like, oh, we didn't get to you in time. Oh well, have a great time in your other place. No, just like they did Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves was offered another amount by another team. What did they do? They had enough time to get an offer sheet ready to combat that offer that the team made. So they had enough time to combat him with another offer that the Falcons made. So this is how I know the organization had no intention of bringing Taylor Heineke back. None whatsoever. And that is a problem
That's
with
why
themselves.
I got upset.
Yes.
I was like, and my brother was laughing at me. I said, "Brother, you said I'm going to come down and shoot off your butt." And he said, "You ain't going to talk nobody." Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm not like I used to be. Let me tell you. And I said, "Remember, I used to play football out there with y'all." I did. I wasn't afraid.
I'm sure you did.
We know you did. We know you did. We know Maryland.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, bring it. Come on.
Oh boy.
I had fun.
And I missed it.
But that's the point. That's the point I was making. So a lot of people and a lot of analysts were upset along with me that we let a player of that caliber go. You made Taylor Heineke fans on ESPN and NFL Network. You made Taylor Heineke fans as well as Commander fans see that there was potential coming along with this guy. And what did you do?
That's right.
You took and made a bet that we can get a better arm than Taylor Heineke. So you let him go to what else? Atlanta and the NFC.
He went to the Birds. He went back to the Birds.
He went back to the Birds.
The Bird brain group, and I'm like, okay, Atlanta Falcons. Okay, I said,
Oh, those birds.
Yeah, those birds. My brother.
Those birds.
Okay, I would have said Eagles.
She said those birds. She didn't say the birds. She said those birds.
Right, because when I think of that, I think of the Eagles. They're the birds too, and they're a bunch of dirty birds too.
So true. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if you
my brother and his son have gone to view of the Falcon game. I think it's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch them. You can bet on that. But I'm going to want Heineke back up here. I don't care what anybody says.
right.
Well, Maryland, get on the phone and call Coach Rivera up. I won't do it. Razul?
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, if I could, I'll be right there in the newsroom pulling Ron Rivera to the side. I'm like, is that a wise decision? I think it is. I think it's not. I think you need to call Taylor Heineke and tell him to come back. Tell him you give him anything in the book. Tell him you probably get him the book.
We're taking you back home where you belong.
Right. We'll do a Cobra Op, Rainbow 6. We'll drag you through the halls of Falcons and bring you back to Commanders. You might not like it, but you'll thank us in the morning.
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
A big old thing, a big thing of what is it? what beer does he like? Coors Light.
Yeah.
I believe we can get him to come. Yeah. No, I do. I like Hannah. He really is, and he handles himself very well.
Oh yeah,
And,
this is why you keep. Okay, so I could give you a rundown of players that we treated horribly over the years. Until this day, it haunts us as a organization. I can give you, not Champ Bailey, but we had John Jansen. John Jansen. We had Kennard Lane. We had what was that other one? Desmond Howard, who was a Redskin and then went to Green Bay and won several championships after we let him go. You know, we had
See? That's what I'm talking about.
we had Frank Wycheck. Frank Wycheck was a Redskin and then went to the Super Bowl as a Tennessee Titan, but he lost to the Rams when Dick Vermeil was head coach. We lost what was that guy's name? Not Chris Cooley. It was another tight end we lost. It was so many. It was so many that we treated unfairly that, you know, it came to bite us in the rear end, and then, you know, we were like wishing, why couldn't that be us? You know.
That's the reason I wanted Alex Smith to be a quarterback coach.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Smith.
Sat down with Heineke and showed him play. And you know what? That young man.
Yeah, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes when you have that leadership and you're coaching up the potential quarterback for next year, and you're showing up the loopholes within that person, and that person's like, oh snap, I can do this. And then you look at Alex Smith. Alex Smith was on a roll. He was kicking everybody's butt. And then we won the NFC East championship there. I mean,
yes, we did.
I mean, what else can we do? I think this is like how you treat bad kids, right? You tell this bad kid, yo, you can't have that. You can't have that, but you can have that over there. And then that kid takes what you give him, right? And he throws it on the floor, and then you give him something else better to play with. That's what we did. You took a really good player. You told him you did a good job, but we don't need you no more. So you let the backup come in.
That's not what you're supposed to do, man.
Exactly.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
And that's what we do.
I've seen players at Virginia Tech that have had great potential. And I knew one that could have been a football or a basketball player.
Correct.
One of the coaches at Virginia Tech told him, no, you don't chase your dreams. That's a young man you do.
Right.
You go for it.
Absolutely.
I don't care what anybody says. Go for it. You don't listen to people like that.
But see, that's our organization. And I'm looking around the other organization in the NFL. They have either one player that they don't like, right? That haven't even done anything to an organization, but hasn't produced. So that let them one player go. We have 10 or 11 players on roster that we don't like, and we we claim that, oh, we didn't give them the offer sheet in time, but we let them go to other teams and they go on to win a Super Bowl. I'm sick of that because
that's just it right there. They've got the potential, and if they're, like I said, they got to click together. And I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, Lou? I'm like,
yeah.
And then there were Eagles fans.
Yeah.
And they were saying, yeah, y'all go ahead and get so-and-so. We'll take care of him. I said, yeah, how many times did you sack him? How many? I was like, our guys were not protecting this man.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's the problem we have with our organization, because they would sit there and tell the fan base that they didn't have enough time to do this, they didn't have enough time to do that. It takes amount of time to get that offer sheet in. No, it really isn't. You have a day and a half. You have a day and a half to get the offer sheet to the player that you want to come back.
That's
and
right.
then
And
you
I'll
got
say, hey, I'm going up there. I'll get it going.
right.
I'll do it right now.
Right, and then they send their person up there to the person's house. Here, sign the offer sheet, or come to here and sign the offer sheet that we have for you. This is the finalization, and they talk to the agent. Yeah, you just go ahead and sign it. This is the thing you wanted, right?
That's right. That's right.
And then
Exactly right.
this is the same thing that happened with who was it that we had that we were trying to sign, and they said that we didn't have time to sign them. Who was it? It wasn't Alex Smith.
Oh.
It was somebody recent, and it was a really good player. And I was really distraught about this.
Oh man.
Anyway, my point is, the player that I'm referring to was a lifelong Brian Mitchell. Before he went to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Brian Mitchell was our primary kickoff returner for years, cracking up so many special team yards, and they decided, we're going to let you go because you're a liability. He wanted to retire as a Redskin, but we let him to the Eagles, and he went on. It was just ridiculous. How you doing, Kevin? There was a little bit of lag in overtime. It cut off. I apologize for that. Kev.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Razzie?
How you doing, man? I'm sorry that my time went up, but the live cut off again. But
Oh, no problem, man. Just have fun.
All right, champ. Thanks. So we were just talking about the players that were let go in the organization that came and went on to bigger things in Super Bowls, while we constantly let our players go to other teams to build a future and a history with. But we did have some really good acquisitions. So the players that we got from free agency, it tells a story of where they're going. So they went and got, Andrew Wiley, and they went and got Nick Gate, and they went and got Drew Hillman. They're going to run the ball more. They're going to run the ball more between the tackles. That's when you get big fellas up front. And then they went and got a wide receiver by the name of Marcus Kemp. Marcus Kemp was a former.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, he's fast. He's fast, and he gathers a lot of yards after the catch. So what they're doing is they're going more down. They're going more down the field. So they're going to get some wide receivers in the draft. They're going to get maybe a backup quarterback in the draft. I'm seeing that, and undrafted, and get some undrafted free rookies too. What are your thoughts on that, Kev?
Oh, you talking about the Redskins?
Yeah, the Commanders. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I knew what he was saying. That's funny.
I do too.
It's okay.
That's old. I'm old school. So
I know. I already know, bro. No worries.
Some things
It's not
hard.
old school, man. That's cool.
It's just some things hard. It's hard to change.
I know.
I think actually it's
right now
harder. Look at Frank Beamer.
1 second. Go ahead, Kev.
I think with free agency sometimes money dictates where you go as far as what you need to upgrade on. I would assume that Washington is going to be really active in the draft because they didn't bring a man there to be an offensive coordinator for long. Rivera might be it for him, regardless of how the season ends. Unless he wins Super Bowl, I don't know if he stays. you got to come short, no shorter than winning the division, in my opinion. But in his defense, though, it's like you guys had a lot of injuries.
True.
You haven't been consistent with the quarterback play. And that says a lot for teams. And I think a lot of times when you're looking at free agency and you go into the draft, a lot of teams, they forget what they've been through during the season. And my thing sometimes when it comes to certain players is right here. If
So we had some technical difficulties. I'm going to just call it a day. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you for attending the show. Be safe out there. Have a great weekend. I'm out. Peace.